But I do want to move on to something else, and this is something that I actually did some research for. Research on the Very Unofficial Travel Guides? Do I have a favor? Welcome back, travel fans. I'm Morgan from the Very Unofficial Travel Guides. This will be the last Sunday Sofatime of 2019, and today we're going to talk about something perhaps kind of controversial. What cruise lines are best if you're gay? Welcome back, everybody. Do you notice anything different, perhaps, about me? Yes. I shaved it off. I just wanted to try it. I wanted to see what it looked like. Again, it's been over a year. I was, since I've been wearing that beard, and I made a video of me shaving it off, and I put it on Patreon. So if you want to see that, log into your Patreon account, and you can check that out. Just, a little moment I wanted to share with you. I decided to make this video because it's something that I've been asked a few times, well, more than a few times actually, and it's not something that I personally really think about, but because I've been asked it and because an article popped up on my Facebook today that made me think about it, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna make a video about it, telling about my experiences and answering some of the questions or maybe concerns that I know some of you who have written to me. So it's gonna be talking about cruising when you're gay. And spoiler alert, I fit into that category. Before I start talking about this and going off on all these different tangents that you know are coming, I can boil this down to like two things that you need to consider. One is not what ship or what cruise line. It is, where is the ship going? And the other thing that I think is super important to talk about, which I'm going to talk about first, and which is probably, my opinions may be somewhat controversial, and I'm sure somebody's going to take it the wrong way, but the second thing to think about is just, how do you act as a gay person? So let's get into it. Marcus and I have now known each other for 15 years, and I just realized I don't have my ring on. It's because I was doing some cleaning and I took it off for that, and so everything's cool. And so yeah, every cruise that I have been on, well, wait a second. I haven't been on every cruise with Marcus. I've done 2 cruises on my own, and I also did 1 cruise with my bodyguard, Andreas, who's coming today, actually. He's gonna be here in a few hours, spending a couple days over Christmas here. And actually, a funny thing is so many times when I've been traveling or hanging out with Andreas, people always think that we're a couple, and he has a wife and 3 children, so we're definitely not a couple, and never have been. But we laugh about the fact of how many times people just assume that we're together. Some of the things that I want to talk about are maybe kind of controversial, not because of the subject matter, but because I think maybe my opinion about some of these things might surprise some of you. So let me move on to some of the comments that people have written on my videos or like private messages that people have sent me. These are things like people saying, my partner and I would love to go on a cruise. We've never been on a cruise, but we're worried because we're a gay couple. What would be the best cruise line for us? And I always answer that question the same way, and that is, any cruise line that looks appealing to you should be the best cruise line for you. This is where it might get, I don't know, kind of controversial. I don't understand how being gay would affect the cruise ship or cruise line that you choose. Any of the major popular cruise lines like Royal Caribbean, Celebrity, Carnival, Disney, did I say Norwegian already? I did, yes. They cater to everybody. So I don't understand how just being or identifying as gay would make a difference about that. You know what I mean? To me, that's like saying, we're from Mississippi. What cruise line or what cruise ship should we choose? Or, we have blonde hair. What do you think would be the best cruise line for us? And I know, people from Mississippi, and something's in my eye. People from Mississippi and people with blonde hair, they're not discriminated against in certain situations, as much as people who, of the LGBTQ community. So maybe it's a little bit different. But I don't think I've ever heard of anybody being discriminated on a cruise ship in, since I've been cruising, simply for being gay. However, I think there is a big difference between just being a gay person on a cruise and being obnoxious and flamboyant. So I know I'm kind of jumping from topic to topic here, but this is a really important factor to me. When you write to me and ask me what cruise line do you think would be right for you, you're worried that you're going to get into trouble or be discriminated against or get funny looks because you're gay, I have to ask you, what exactly are you planning to be doing on this cruise that makes you worry about that? I guess that's the best way to put it. Marcus and I, like I said, we've known each other for 15 years. We've lived together for like 13 years now. We do so many things together, and when we're on cruises, we go to eat together, we sit next to each other at the pool, we go on excursions together, and it has absolutely never ever been a problem. And it's not something that we like actively keep a secret, but I have to tell you, we don't go skipping, across the pool deck hand in hand wearing tiaras and pink matching Speedos. Speedos, yes, but not pink matching. Actually, Marcus doesn't wear Speedos. You know what I mean? We're not like PDA tongue kissing while we're in the bus on our way to an excursion. We're not like, standing on a bar stool screaming across the room at some girl, "Hey girl, I love those heels." So, I don't know what it is you're planning to do or how you're planning to act on the ship that even before you book, you're worried about being treated differently. Does that make sense? And I really don't want you to think that this is like some kind of like inside reverse discrimination or something. Well, maybe it is. I don't know. I can just tell you that it has never been a problem for us. But, Marcus and I, we don't like walk around 24 hours a day screaming and letting everybody know that we are gay men who are in a relationship. And I think that is like the biggest, or like a really big factor. If you act respectable to everybody, including having manners, saying please and thank you, as far as I'm concerned, big public displays of affection from anybody are not appropriate, be it gay or heterosexual. I don't want to be sitting next to somebody who's like French kissing or who are like, I've seen people in pools and on pool decks where it's like the girl is like literally laying on top of the guy and has her, her knees on both sides of him and they're making out. And I think, that's wrong. That should not be something you do in public. And I don't want to see it from gay people, and I don't want to see it from straight people. You know what I mean? Of course, it does frustrate me that if I was on a pool deck and there was like a woman laying on top of some guy like I just described, I think it's inappropriate, but I'm pretty sure that nobody would really say something about it. If it was two guys, definitely somebody would say something about it, and they would definitely get some negative attention for doing that. And that is something that does bother me. However, like I said, I think both situations are incorrect and should not be happening. There are other situations I can think of where I think, it might draw negative attention to you, but then it's not because of you being gay. It's just because of you being like obnoxious and like very evident. Do you know what I mean? And I get upset by heterosexual people being obnoxious and disturbing as well. So to answer the question once and for all, if you write to me and ask me what cruise line do you think is the best for you as a gay couple, I would say any cruise line that you are interested in, any of the major cruise lines. Now, if you are into skipping across the pool deck wearing matching Speedos and a tiara, and if you are one of those people who really loves to, to be very extroverted and really like do drag, things like that, I think that's all great. I have, of course I have nothing against that. And there are actually cruises where you can like really go for it. One of the most popular ones are the Atlantis gay cruises. So if you, really just want to like go for it and be around a lot of like-minded people, live in your best gay life, check out one of the Atlantis gay cruises. I've had friends who've gone on those. I've seen pictures of them. It looks like, if you're into that, it looks like the height of fun experiences you can have. Live in your best gay life just like that. I don't think that I would want to go on when that atmosphere I think would make me really uncomfortable. But like I said, that doesn't mean I think it's wrong. It's just not what I like to do. And if you've ever been on one of those Atlantis cruises, send me a private message and just let me know what it was like and if you would do it again. And it just seems like so intense and so gay. And I just wonder can you relax at all on those? Or I would be worried about always sucking in my stomach and standing up straight and, worried about like who's checking me out and stuff like that. Oh, the things that go through my head, right? But I do want to move on to something else. And this is something that I actually did some research for. Research on the very unofficial travel guides? Do I have a favor? And this is something that you should consider as a member of the LGBTQ community, especially if you are trans, because there are destinations that are not gay friendly. And I'm not talking about the ships or the cruise lines. I'm talking about the places that they visit. So a better question to ask is not what ship is good or what cruise line is good for gay travelers. It's more about the destinations, because there are some places that you probably should avoid. And I made a list. For instance, these destinations are places where people have been arrested and put in jail for same-sex activity, like for getting busted having sex with somebody of the same sex. Antigua, Barbados, and Jamaica. There are people who've gone to jail for like getting it on with another guy. And so I would say that those are really not gay-friendly destinations. And of course, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't go there. I mean, Marcus and I have been there. We've been to Jamaica, yeah. And, I had no problem, but like I said, we weren't like looking to hook up with anybody. We were there just going on like an inner tube afternoon, and I can't think of a situation where it would arise that would become like a problem. I was also surprised to learn that there has been quite a few documented cases of like discrimination and of people being, talked to badly in St. Lucia and St. Kitts. And I know we've been to St. Kitts, but, I don't remember it being a problem there as well. But it was in the research that I did, that those two places popped up quite a few times. Also, and this is something that I know haven't experienced myself, but I have been to Dubai and Abu Dhabi, and both of those places are also places where you can literally be arrested and end up in jail for just like kissing or holding hands with your boyfriend or partner in public. And, to clear it up, heterosexual people can also be arrested for that, but I think it probably doesn't happen as much as it happens to gay people. And of course, not too long ago, there was a big scandal because a very famous trans activist and YouTuber, Gigi Gorgeous, she was booked for some event in Dubai, and she couldn't enter the country. She flew all the way there and was like, not detained, but she was like kept in the airport, and then she had to fly away. She was not allowed to enter the country as a trans woman. So those are all, and also, I forgot, also another popular cruise destination for Northern Europe cruises is St. Petersburg, Russia. And yeah, Russia, terrible gay rights, terrible place to go if you're like an out and proud gay person or a trans person. People getting arrested there all the time. They took down that monument of Steve Jobs after Tim Cook came out as gay. And not a good place, not some place that I think you would want to go visit if you're really worried about that. So it's not so much about the ships or the cruise lines. It's about, one, how you act, and two, where the ship is going. And now comes the time on Sunday Sofatime where for the last time in 2019, I comment on your comments live on air. In last week's Sunday Sofatime, I talked about how you can send a Christmas gift to somebody who's going to be on a cruise or at Disney using the onboard shopping functions on the website of the different cruise lines. I showed how it works for Carnival and how it works for Disney Cruise Line, and also how you can do these in-room celebrations at Walt Disney World, and these comments are about that video. One is from Tommy Bryceland. Tommy writes, Merry Christmas, Morgan. I guess one bearded wonder is enough for Christmas. What Tommy's talking about is that in last week's Sunday Sofatime, I still had my beard, and I mentioned that I was going to shave it off, and now it's gone. So I think the one bearded wonder you're talking about is Santa Claus, right? Ho, ho, ho. John Shepard writes, always a thoughtful gift. I surprised my sister with onboard credit and a decor package on Carnival when she graduated nursing school in June, and I got the birthday decor for my mother's 60th birthday on the NCL Jade this coming April. Ooh, well, I hope she doesn't watch this. The surprise is over then. Definitely a good idea putting up a video on how to do this. First time I tried doing it for a third party, it threw me for a loop. So yeah, now you know. And that's one of the reasons I like to make these videos, is to help you guys plan and know what to expect. Also, my commercial was for Disney World. The ads seem to be getting more relative, which is fun. That's good, that makes me happy too. Seize the Day, spelled S-E-A-S, very clever, must be some big cruise fans. We gift ourselves a bottle of rum and cans of Coke and a bottle of vodka and cans of Sprite. Then it's waiting for us in the cabin without smuggling booze on board. Well, that is one thing I thought of, but I just thought that the prices for liquor were huge. There was like a bottle of Sky vodka, like a normal size bottle of Sky for $75. And I just thought, no, too expensive. That doesn't mean I'm going to smuggle anything on board. I've never done that. I hope you guys had a fantastic Christmas celebration or holiday celebration or last week of December. Have a great New Year's. The next 2 weeks, I'm going to try to get something online for Sunday Sofatime, but as you know, the first week, I'm going to be cruising on the Carnival Sunrise, and the second week, I'm going to be cruising on the Disney Dream. And then the third week, I'm going to be at Walt Disney World, so could be a little spontaneous and sporadic. But please come back. I want to talk to you again very soon. Bye-bye.